We literally played to one person in Fredericton last year.
Yeah.
That's not an exaggeration. Like one actual human being was there. Even the promoter didn't watch it.
Oh, that's crazy. Doing pretty good. Always stressful, you know, getting everything going, but now we're fired up. Biggest headliner show to date, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah, man, we're really stoked. We've never played to this many people at a headlining crowd, so it's a big day for us. Really excited. Definitely, yeah. So this will only be our third show since the record has come out, and it's been out for almost a month now, I think, or a whole month actually. Yeah. So we definitely kind of got to watch it like come out and go through like the release cycle while we were at home, like not out touring or playing shows or anything. So we were able to appreciate getting like a lot higher numbers than we're used to, and we kind of have this like ongoing joke, like every time something good happens to us, we say, oh, it's almost like we're a real band now. And it's like, you know, when this show sold out, I was like, oh shit, like we actually are kind of like a real band now. This is crazy. And it's definitely been nice to be able to like sit and watch it happen in real time and like really get to appreciate, you know, the fact that like people like actually give a shit to like hear our music, because for a long time people didn't, and we know lots of bands that are really good that just can't seem to get it.
It's super cool for me. I mean, I haven't been in a serious band since I was in high school, and this is by far the most serious band I've been in. And honestly, even in the last year that I've been, like, it's been hyper growth, honestly. Like, everything from the Spotify streams, like getting on huge playlists, getting to play with some, you know, really big bands and support slots, touring around Canada, going as far as, you know, Halifax, all these cool things that are first for the band and, you know, first for me at the same time. So it's been really, really cool. I don't think so. I think we're ready for it. Like, I think we're just wanting to hit the ground running, play shows, keep the momentum going, record and release more music. And I think it's some big shoes to fill for sure, like what people are saying, but we like it and we think we're good enough to fill those shoes, yeah.
Yeah, big time. Another thing I'd say is like we don't really take ourselves too seriously. We take like being in the band and the music seriously and whatnot. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So like if we like fuck up on stage or something, it's like, you know, whatever. Like we can laugh it off and they laugh it off and everything's good.
Yeah.
Like we handle the pressure very well.
At the end of the day, it's a punk band or a punk adjacent band. You don't have to be perfect. Like
100%.
Your guitar is going to go out of tune. You're going to hit a wrong note. You're going to fuck up on stage. Things are never going to be perfect. That's part of it. That's the beauty behind anything in the alternate music genre, right?
Yeah, I would say yeah. Like when I started this band when I was in high school, and I was very much like, yeah, like we're gonna fucking tour the world in the next like 3 years, and like we gotta take everything hyper seriously. We all have to dress the same on stage. And like I was like, everything needs to be like. But as like, you know, you get older and like you kind of start to appreciate things more, you want to have fun with it, right? Like I don't know how long this can last, and I want to make sure that I can look back on it and say like, man, I did my best and I had the most fun that I possibly could have while we did it. I'm sure you can agree, like when we go on tour and stuff, like we really try to make sure that we make the most of everything.
It's about fun, man. Like we're not a big band. We don't do this full time, and we wouldn't go on tours where, you know, you're not always playing for the most people, or you're not making money if we didn't love doing it. Yeah. It's all for the joy of the music, and we're all friends, luckily, at the end of the day. So we, like you said, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and that's reflected like when we're all hanging out on tour. It's just a good time all around.
We literally played to one person in Fredericton last year. Yeah. That's not an exaggeration. Like one actual human being was there. Even the promoter didn't watch it.
Oh, that's crazy.
And like even then, we weren't like fighting with each other. It was like, wow, that was like a meme. Like that was hilarious.
We call it getting Frederictons now. Yeah. It used to be getting Peterborough, because we've not so great show there. But yeah, we got Fredericton, and if something bad goes down, that's it. Yeah, and then we just laugh about it and go talk about what the fuck we're doing with our lives for like an hour, and then we move on. Yeah.
It's actually good. Sorry. Go ahead. One of the things I would say about it is it allows us to play with a wide variety of types of bands. And I'll give you a really good example. We opened for a band called Escape the Fate a couple of years ago, and that was like one of the first like bigger shows we ever did. And one of the things that I noticed was after the show, people were coming and telling us like, "Yo, I've never seen a band play so raw before. Like, you know, there was no backing tracks. You guys just came and you played." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Like, I guess like you guys have never seen that because you're so used to seeing those like, you know, hard rock kind of bands where like everything's like pre-programmed.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not like taking a shot at that. Like, that's cool. Like, it's a different form of entertainment, but like we're very much like in your face. We don't play with in-ears. We don't have like metronomes or anything. We just fucking go and go and go. And like for them, they'd never seen that, so they were like so impressed. And like people kept telling me at the merch table, like, "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen." So it's cool to be able to like interact with people like that and like show them a different side of the same kind of music that they really like, but presented in a different way than they're used to.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'd say it's kind of both sides. Like there are the pros of it that we can play with a lot of different bands, which is really fun, and I think we're all big fans of mixed bill shows. It's a little tough. Like we're not a hardcore band. You know, it's obviously a big hardcore scene, and that's coming back in a big way. So some people in that scene might think we're soft, and we're not like a traditional metal band or a metalcore band, so we don't necessarily fit in there. We call ourselves post-hardcore these days. I think the newest record kind of puts the direction a lot more, but we're all sorts of genres, so it's tough to fit in with a specific scene where people expect a certain sound.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, does it help us stand out? Absolutely. If we're playing one of those mixed bill shows, we're going to be a little different than, you know, an old school hardcore band or a metalcore band, right? So it's both, I'd say.
I'll give you the full backstory. So I grew up in a very religious family, and I went to like a religious school like my entire life until I graduated high school, and I saw a lot of different sides of religion. So there is the side of where it brings people together and everyone's really peaceful and it brings them peace and they feel good about it, and that's awesome, and I love that. And if you can find your peace in any religion, I respect that, and I'm really stoked for you. But I personally didn't. I never bought into it. I didn't really believe in it, so I always struggled with that. And it's always been an issue for me because a lot of the people that I grew up around really looked down on it. And not only they looked down on me, they would look down on like other people within the same religion and say, "Oh, you don't worship the right way, but even though we believe in the same thing, you're doing it wrong." It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, we're all supposed to like respect each other and like love one another, right? So it is kind of a religious thing, but you're right. To a degree, it is a people thing because the idea behind religion, I think, is really awesome. But once it turns into not being about yourself, and it turns into being something that's about looking down on other people, that's where I have a problem with it. The second you're not respecting other ways of life and other beliefs, that's when I start to take issue.
I have my own set of beliefs, and I respect John's and I respect anyone's. Like he said, it shouldn't divide you, and religion should be about love, or lack of religion. You should still love everyone. So I tune that out and I play the music, and that's my outlook on it. Yeah.
A really important distinction I just want to make clear: I'm not against any religion or anyone who's religious at all, as long as you're able to like respect and like love what other people really believe, like Tommy just said. Then that's totally cool, right? Even if me and someone else don't see eye to eye on the same thing, that's fine. As long as we can like still respect each other and coexist with each other. Like, that's what's important to me.
That's what it's all about. There's people of all religions that just aren't good people, or their beliefs aren't formed off of a good backbone, and it causes you to just be a not so great person in my religion or others. There's good people across everything, but yeah, like you shouldn't use religion as a crutch to be awful, right?
Big time.
The goal for any Canadian band is kind of always to get to the States. There's barriers to entry in terms of the difficulty in getting a visa and the costs associated with it, or getting on, you know, a support slot on a bill in the States, or getting enough draw in the States without ever played there, which is tough. We had a conversation earlier today with some guys, and it seems like it might not be as crazy expensive or the barrier to entry as we thought. So we might look into that a bit more. But going forward, it's to do bigger tours and to kind of break out of that Southern Ontario scene. Like, you know how Canada is. If you want to go west, you're doing 10-hour drives between cities. If you're going east, it's not that much better, and the cities in between are really, really small, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough, but yeah, getting out of that, that zone, I think is the important part next.
Yeah, I would agree. We're very much a live band, a band that like we try to play as much as we can. We try to go really hard when we do play. And I really started a band because I wanted to play live shows, like doing like even recording and stuff, like and writing songs. Like I don't really enjoy that side of it that much. It's all about getting to the end goal, which is playing more shows. Like someone once told me that like some bands tour so they can record, and other bands record just so they can tour. And we're definitely in the latter. Like we're definitely a band that we record just so we can have new songs to play when we go and tour. And we just want to tour as much as we can. Like Tommy said, we're really want to get to the U.S. We really want to go to Europe. We really want to like leave Canada and take this as far as we can.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.